Welcome to Storytime with Ballen. Today I will be reading you Little Red Riding Hood by Marjorie Priceman. And this is a classic collectible pop-up book. So let's get started. At the place where the meadow meets, in the woods, there lived a clever girl who was loved by everyone. Her grandma, who loved her best of all, had sewn her a red velvet hood, just like the fine ladies wore for riding. The girl adored it and wore it everywhere she went, and so the villagers took to calling her Little Red Riding Hood. After a while, it seemed that people just forgot her real name, because no one ever called her by anything else. One day, Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Your grandmother is not feeling well. Will you take her a basket of food?" The basket was filled with fruit and cheese, and bread and butter, and soup with a pinch of salt and pepper. Mother said everything was better with salt and pepper. The girl was more than happy to go, but as she tied on her cloak and hood, her mother cautioned, "Now, you mustn't talk to strangers, I promise. You must stay on the path, I promise. Don't dawdle, I promise. And never give grandmother a big hug from me." "I promise," said Little Red Riding Hood. And then we pop this up. It has a little letter. And, okay. Mindful of her mother's instructions, Red Riding Hood walked so brisk and so straight she almost missed the big gray wolf crouched in the tree. "Good day," said the wolf with a big grin. "Good day," said Little Red Riding Hood, already forgetting the first promise she made to her mother. The wolf loped along beside her. "What's the hurry, dear? Listen to the birds sing. Stop to smell the roses. I am going to my grandmother's house," said Little Red Riding Hood. "She's sick and I'm taking this basket of food to her." "Well then," said the wolf, "all the more reasons to stop and pick her a nice bouquet of flowers." "Oh yes," said Red Riding Hood, stepping off the path to pick some daisies and forgetting the second promise she made to her mother. "Where does your grandmother live?" asked the wolf. "If I should happen to pass her house, I'll tell her you're on your way." "How kind," said Red Riding Hood. "She lives about a mile from here, in the stone cottage between two chestnut trees." And that the wolf disappeared down the path. Red Riding Hood wandered around picking handfuls and armfuls of daisies. She diddled and dallied and dawdled about and completely forgot the first promise she made to her mother. After she had picked as many flowers as she could carry, she hurried on her way. When she got to Grandma's house, she found the door unlatched, and everything inside was topsy-turvy. There were chairs tipped, books toppled, and a teapot unnettled on the stove. And where was Grandma's cat, who always came to greet her? And where was Red Riding Hood's grandma? "Grandma," she called, "are you here?" "I'm in the bedroom, dear," called a deep, croaking voice. She found Grandma in bed with her nightcap pulled way down and her nose in a newspaper. She looked very odd, and her stomach was making a terrible grumbling noise. "You don't sound like yourself today," said Red Riding Hood. "I had something that doesn't agree with me," said the old lady. "And you know I don't like yourself either." "Why? What big ears you have, Grandma." "The better to hear you with." "And what big eyes you have, Grandma." "The better to see you with." "And what big hands you have, Grandma." "The better to hold you with." "And what terrible big teeth you have, Grandma." "The better to eat you with," said Grandma, who wasn't Grandma at all, but the wolf in Grandma's night clothes. He lunged out at Red Riding Hood and opened his mouth to swallow her up. "What?" she cried. "I'd be tastier with salt and pepper." Both agreed and carried Red Riding Hood into the kitchen, where he put her in a cooking pot and sprinkled her with salt first and then with pepper. "The more pepper the better," said Red Riding Hood, and the wolf shook the pepper pot until there was no pepper left, and his stomach grumbled again, and his eyes glistened with delight as he bared his pointy teeth open, his mouth wide, and said, "Ooh la la! Achoo!" And he sneezed a thunderous sneeze. Out from inside his grandma, who was rattled but not badly hurt. "Quick thinking," said Grandmother, because that was Red Riding Hood's real name, and the name she was calling from inside the wolf's stomach. Grandma got her teeth and hurled them at the wolf, while Red Riding Hood harassed him with a frying pan, chasing him through the kitchen, over the windowsill, and out of their lives forever. Then Grandmother and Granddaughter sat at the table and ate fruit and cheese, and bread and butter and soup with just the right amount of salt and pepper. And after supper, Red Riding Hood remembered the fourth promise she made to her mother, and gave her Grandma a great big hug. Then little Red Riding Hood got into bed, and Grandma read her a story. "That's not a very good story." "Grandma, you're right, dear, it isn't. Good night." And it has a little Red Riding Hood too, so let's read that. Little Red Riding Hood walked through the woods with a basket of food for an ailing grandma. She did not talk to the big bad wolf. She did not leave the path. She walked directly there without stopping. Her grandma was very happy to see her. The end. And that is also the end of this book. So if you would like to get this book, I will leave a link down in the description where you can buy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and like and subscribe to Totally World. Bye!